Welcome to AFLNT's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season. You've got myself, Eliza Morrison, and Stu Davis today, bringing you this round 4 game of Darwin Buffets versus Waratah at Gardens Oval.
Hi Eliza, should be a cracker I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams are in really good form, coming off wins from last week. We saw the Buffets take out St Mary's last week, which was a low-scoring game but highly contested, and of course Waratah's having a really good win versus Southern Districts last week.
Yeah, that's right, and Buffalo's just really consistent I reckon, and it'll be a tough ask for Tars this week. It'll be a good test for them. Obviously they've been the benchmark for many years in the NTFL women's competition, but had a bit of a hiccup last year, missing out on the finals probably for the first time ever, and looking to bounce back under new coach Heidi Thompson this year.
Yep, and they've got a couple of extra ins this week from Queensland, who I'm sure we'll mention as the game goes on, but that's in Megan Hunt and also Stephanie O'Brien. So we'll see how they perform in the heat today, Stu.
Yeah, and here we are underway at Gardens Oval. Great to be back at Gardens Oval once again. And it looks like Buffalo's the opportunity for the first clearance. It's Mickey Roberts, ducks one way, then back the other, goes through by hand over to Stokes. Hand pass comes forward, and Duggan kicks it inside forward 50, but chopped off across half back, and the opportunity for Tars to mount something from the back half. So Pluka that was at half back. She's kicked to the outer side of the ground, and Tars looking to move the ball round the outer wing, and Molly Cooper gets into the action with a mark on the wing on the outer side of Gardens Oval. She keeps close to the boundary line. It's bouncing out of bounds, and Mickey Roberts knows that one's going to be a free kick, so she goes back and takes the kick now just out in front of the scoreboard on the Botanic Gardens side of the ground, for those that aren't familiar with it. Her kick's chopped off there by Roberts, couldn't take the mark but recovered well and kicks along the line, and she finds Kiewit there, but she's under plenty of pressure, and free kick's been found there. Mickey Roberts again centering ball, and good defensive work by Megan Hunt there, one of the players Eliza was talking about coming into the side. She butters up again, gets a chip kick out wide, and now there's a free kick here for a bit of an incorrect tackle.
It's contested as we thought straight away in that far wing, and Mickey Roberts already straight into the game.
So Tars inside forward 50 for the first time. O'Shea with her hands to the ball, couldn't take the mark. She gets a second opportunity, gets a hand pass out. Quick hands there by Kiewit again, and we've got a whistle on the play, and it's a Buffalo's free kick going to Gonanon this time. So Gonanon goes towards the outer side, goes over the head of all players there. Taylor Hartaluni running onto it, taps it in front of herself, and now controls the ball beautifully. Has a bounce, but goes back over her shoulder. She recovers pretty well though. Gets a half smothered kick forward. Nicely done there by Nikki Anderson, but got tackled with the ball and didn't dispose of it correctly. So the opportunity for Izzy Rapson at half back to kick to the outer side, but that one's chopped off by Molly Althouse out there for Buffs. So just looking at the Buffs forward line, they all seem to be clogged in one area at the moment. Althouse goes to where all those players are. Ball comes to the front of the pack. Carbone lurking there. Can't pick it up. In there for Tars was Cooper. And it'll be a ball up inside forward 50 for Buffs, kicking to the city end of the ground.
And we can see Buffets in their Indigenous away jumpers today, which was made by number 33, Joanna Gregory, designed them. So they're fantastic away jumpers they're wearing.
So the ball comes forward for Tars, but Althouse lurking there, chips across to centre half forward where Kylie Duggan's found some space. She's looking to move the ball on quickly, got a free player, and that's Dom Carbone, I think it is, out there, and she marks about 35 metres out from goal.
Yeah, and Dom Carbone was actually open just before when Molly was kicking it in, so she's definitely one player I wouldn't leave open in anywhere in the ground, but let alone the forward ground, so she's been busy early.
So she drilled that one in, the mark couldn't be taken, then ran up to help out again, got a hand pass forward. Hartaluni out there on the left foot, kicks across the face of goal, bounce favours the Buffs players, hand pass comes back again there to Gregory, but kick at goal was offline and through for the first score of the game, which is a behind to Darwin Buffs.
We know how strong Tar's backline is with the likes of Izzy Rapson in there, and also, as you've mentioned, Molly as well, and Lisa Roberts.
So Tars bring it to the grandstand side of the ground, but this time it's Frida Wasomo taking the intercept mark. She chips the ball in short, but goes over the head of her teammate there. Slips out the back and quick hands, and now opportunity there for Hone. Got it across to Roberts. Roberts straight into the hands of Althouse at centre half forward, though. She goes long, straight down the middle of the ground and straight through the goal for the first goal of the game. So just an errant kick coming out of defence, perhaps a bit of a panic kick, Eliza, and Molly was there all by herself at centre half forward and made no mistake.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just come from discipline from the Buffettes, especially from Molly. That's what you want from your ruck. Obviously dangerous in the taps, but she was doing a lot of hard work locking it in that 50, as with the midfielders, and it pays off to stay outside and then take the opportunity when it comes.
So just waiting for the restart here. Lisa Roberts is late coming in, but she'll get there in time, and we're away again, and Stephanie O'Brien doing the ruck work for Tars. She's up against it against Althouse, but Tars look like clearing here, although plenty of Buffs players also amongst the action. Brianna Martin got a quick kick forward, but couldn't find a teammate. O'Brien bursts through, picks up and kicks inside forward 50. Kiewit got her hands to the ball, couldn't take the mark. Hand passes back again to O'Brien, looks to duck one way then the other, kicks smothered. She's under plenty of pressure, there's plenty of Buffs players there, but she still gets control of the ball, hand passes, but it's chopped off there by Slewinski for Buffs. She kicks inside the centre square, and Tars have the numbers there. Bit of a scrubby kick, half smothered. Wasomo pounces on that and goes for a run, as she loves to do. Kicks straight down the middle of the ground, but past her teammate there, and the ball bouncing inside the centre square. Carbone comes in again, dives on the ball, tries to flick it out the back to her teammate, but couldn't do so. Picked up in there by Indiana Hughes. She gets tackled with the ball and now taps it forward. Iacono for Buffs sees a free player at half forward, kicks down in the direction there of Patterson Dunn. She gets it over the top to Gregory, I think it is down there, but to no avail, and a good tackle in the end. Izzy Rapson picked it up, tried to break away, but she was tackled down there by Tia Patterson Dunn.
And unlucky for Izzy there, she had to go at the ball. She knew that if she didn't, then the player wouldn't have enough pressure and would be able to go for goal. So, yeah, still worthwhile taking that risk, and they might still stop the goal here.
Patterson Dunn looking to chip it to the advantage of her teammate down there in Palapamini, but she got her hands to it, but went through her hands and through for a minor score. And so I think it's Lisa Roberts has worked her way back there to take the kick in. She runs out of the square now, has a tap on the ground, and then kicks high outside 50. Althouse comes in, almost took the mark. Rapson took the crumbs, but got wrapped up in a tackle, and not much opportunity to get rid of it. And free kick's been paid for failing to dispose of the ball. So Althouse again chips it inside 50. Duggan there just drifted over her head. She got one hand to it and recovered well to tap it to the advantage of a teammate. Palapamini kicks into the top of the goal square now. Hartaluni almost took the mark and then had the ball ripped out of her hands, and eventually it's wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up right at the end of the 10-metre square.
Well done by Duggins there, experienced player, and of course the captain of Buffettes, just to keep it in line, give the Buffs another chance to get in and score. And now rucking. So ball on the ground, and Tars looking to come away and win a free kick for being held without the ball, and that's Isabel Hartog out there. Kicks
towards the boundary on the outer side, off the hands of a couple of players. Looks like it stayed in play. Hand pass comes across to Iacono. She kicks in towards half forward. Mark spilt there by Hartog this time. And now the ball just caught under a couple of players. They're trying to work it out. Hartog again, kicks smothered. She recovers and picks up again, but again tackled by Hartaluni. And this time it's called a stalemate and a ball up.
And Hartog, another player who's come up for Queensland for TARS, so actually an elite cricketer who's recently turned footballer and doing some great stuff out there.
So through the hands, TARS get a quick kick out, but Iacono reads it beautifully and runs through half forward, kicks along towards the top of the goal square where there's a pack of players. And Roberts gets the hand pass away, doesn't really go to the advantage of her teammate, and Buffs have an opportunity again. Ball bouncing around, a quick kick smothered, taken off the boot basically, and TARS bring it away again, but again Buffs well set up behind the ball. Iacono hand passes back to Oldhouse. She chips the ball in, top of the goal square again. Disciplined stuff from Buffs, giving themselves an opportunity. Hand pass squirts forward, but Roberts is lurking there for TARS, and she clears towards the outer side of the ground. Looks like Iacono will be there for Buffs. She picks up, evades a couple of tackles, hand passes to Oldhouse. Her hand pass just spilled out there by Henderson, but Oldhouse is in there again. Hand passes forward to Iacono. So all through the hands here, Buffs. Now a kick forward, but that one doesn't hit the target, and TARS go off the ground, and now eventually get an opportunity through Aggie Singh. Hand passes to herself. That was interesting in the air, and now a couple of bounces, but loses control. She's over the ball again. She's got some help through O'Shea now. She tries to break a couple of tackles, and the ball spills out. And now Buffs bring it away through Gonanon, straight down the centre of the ground, and Lisa Roberts again tidying up behind the play. But again, she's kicked it straight to Oldhouse, who goes long from 50. It's going all the way, but just offline. Gee, that was a powerful kick.
Yeah, big patch of play there. What I really like from the Buffettes is they're not only getting in really good positions and giving those handballs, but they're shepherding really well for their teammates and giving them that extra second just to get the kicks off.
So Oldhouse again reads this one best in between a couple of TARS players and takes that mark at centre half forward. She's looking to pass, I don't know why, on the evidence of the previous kick, but she's found a loose player, chips it out here, and I think that'll be Palapamini, won't it, taking that mark?
Yeah, yes, it is. And we know that's something really dangerous from the Buffettes. If they have a kick out, they always have multiple leads. Here's another one here. Yeah. Where they'll just chip it off to that short player and then try and get a better opportunity and a better look at goal. Really selfless play there.
So Nikki Anderson kicking from just over 20 metres, I think. Kicks on the way. It's going across the face, and in fact, that's marked back there by Izzy Rapson on the last line. So just giving her some room to come out of there. And she plays on now and kicks to the outer side. It's going very wide by the looks. It bounces inside defensive 50, goes out towards the boundary line, and free kick spin paid under the last touch rule, and that's Takisa Doherty-Cole for Buffs, who'll take that free kick about 60 metres from goal on the outer side. Going inside forward 50 now, no mark taken. Roberts there again, gets a hand pass forward. This time it's taken by Hunt. She gives it back to Roberts, who hands it over to Rapson. She kicks high. Oldhouse just too strong there. Just moved her opponent out of the way and took the mark. Now she chips the ball back into the centre of the ground. And the mark's taken here by Slewinski. Michelle Slewinski on the left foot, kicking long towards centre half forward. Coming in there was Anderson, spilt the mark, but recovered and got the hand pass forward. Anderson's in there again, fighting for the ball, but eventually it's shoveled out, and Wasomo picks up, goes for a run, and just got too much pace there, and now kicks towards goal. It's going close, but just misses to the near side.
It was, I liked that down that far wing, we saw the ball was stuck over there, but then Buffett's actually switched at corridor and then were able to come down the middle, which just opened up a little bit more space to run down for them.
So Tars changed tack this time and come to the grandstand side of the ground. Aggie Singh in there fighting for the ball, couldn't take the mark. Tackle's laid and it'll be a ball up. So Tars have been under siege a bit in defence, but they're hanging on pretty well so far. Only the 1 goal kicked, and just need to get the ball moving forward themselves if they can find some players in space. But plenty of pressure from the Buffs all around the ball every time it's there on the ground. Picked up there by Cooper, but again, they're worried out of it. Palapamini on the left foot, kicks long towards goal. It's going right to the goal line. Oh, it bounces at right angles. Rapson is first to read that and comes out of defence with a nice kick out here to Bethany Wheeler. Wheeler's got plenty of time and space, but not much to go to, so she kicks high around the outer wing. Guess who's there? Molly Oldhouse, of course, but this time the ball's on the ground, and Tars managed to just advance it a little bit on the outer side there before it's Buffs who come back again, but that time the kick's astray, goes out of bounds, bounces over the fence. So
yeah, and we'll see here there's only 14.5 minutes gone of 15-minute quarter plus time on, so obviously only one goal being scored, so we might have a minute or two left. A chance for Tars here.
Yeah, well, they've got some space in the middle of the ground. They go that way. Megan Hunt over to Lauren Pluker. She ducks back and goes back into the traffic and straight to Dom Carbone there. And now Buffs looking to move the ball quickly to try to get another score on the board before quarter time. And they've found their way inside forward 50, but Roberts again doing the defensive work for Tars and creates a ball up at centre half forward. So the ball loose, Harder-Looney runs onto it. She's wrapped up in the tackle by Lisa Roberts. And we'll have another ball up about the same place. No clear winner in the ruck head out, but picked up nicely there by Megan Hunt. She clears the ball down the middle here, and Jordan Smythe takes the mark as the siren goes. So a quarter probably dominated by Darwin, really, and I think Tars have done pretty well to just control that lead down to 10 points only, Eliza. Yeah,
absolutely, and we saw the back line under siege that whole quarter, and Tars held up pretty well. They, even that last play when they were coming through, the skill execution wasn't quite there, but the decision making was there, and I think they had the right idea to try and open up the ground, and we know that they've got some runners in their team who can break forward, so we'll see if they can put that together for the next quarter, Stu. So thanks for tuning in. You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season, and we'll be back for the second quarter. Welcome back to the second quarter. You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2021-22 season, where we see round 4 of Women's Premier League Darwin Buffets versus Waratahs. It's a one-way traffic for the first quarter, with the majority of it being in Buffets forward 50, but somehow Tars managed to hold up pretty well, and it's 1 goal 4-10 to 0 to Waratahs, Stu.
Yeah. Tars with the win this quarter. Do you think that'll make the difference, Eliza?
Well, time will tell. We know that, of course, Waratahs are without a big out today, Lisa Maselli, who's a big goal kicker for them. But, yeah, we'll see how they can fill that gap coming forward.
So they've got the first clearance and they're inside forward 50 straight away. But Gonanon working the ball in front of her for Buffs in defence back there. Keeps the ball in play. Hand passes inboard, and now an opportunity here through Slewinski. She kicks the ball down towards the centre square. Some good footwork there by Roberts. Got it over to Hunt. Hunt hand pass back looking for Roberts again. She's caught under the ball and in fact infringed with a push in the back. So it's Lisa Roberts who'll take this free kick. Grandstand side here at Gardens. It's a nice kick in towards centre half forward. Oh, hands to the ball, almost taken there by Stephanie O'Brien. She recovers well, gets a hand pass back inboard to Cooper, but her kick was half smothered. O'Brien's in there again, gets the hand pass back to O'Shea. She's caught with the ball, trying to get it out, but unable to do so. And we'll have a ball up at centre half forward.
And that was number 17, Stephanie O'Brien, who's come from a tall forward, who's an elite netballer, who's actually a train-on in AFLW with the Brisbane Lions this year. So.
Yeah, and it looks like she's doing the ruck work today for Tars, so perhaps a bit of a different role for her. But Frida Wasomo there just tapped the ball forward and then got tackled, so held without the ball. And she chips the ball, looking here for Mickey Roberts. She's spills the mark under pressure there, and the ball's on the ground. It's underneath her now. Anderson just comes in, picks it up, gets a kick that's half smothered. Carbone fighting for the ball, and in fact gives away a free kick by wrapping her arms around Indiana Hughes there for Tars, and Hughes takes the free kick. She kicks along looking for O'Shea, but she's worked out of position. And
we see Rachel Henderson back in the back line this week, yeah. Stu. Of course, we saw her versus Southern Districts kick about 6 or 7 goals in the forward, so Buffs have the advantage of having some really versatile players.
So Tars looking to switch the ball into some open space again, just through the hands there, and good recovery once again by O'Brien, but Buffs with the numbers run it out of defence. Carbone in front, over the top. It was Hughes. She managed to get it across there to Hunt. Hunt kicks inside forward 50, and now an opportunity with a quick kick forward. And the ball's bouncing down towards the goal line. Henderson's first there for Buffs. She tries to kick it off the ground, and coming back into support was Stokes, and Stokes clears to the outer side of the ground where Carbone's got a bit of space, just gets her kick in before Aggie Singh runs her down. Some good defensive work there by Goldback Agate, but eventually Buffs got some numbers there, and Carbone again runs onto it, receives the handball. Nice mark taken by Remfrey, that was, played on and kicks inside forward 50, but Izzy Rapson claims it over the back. Play on's the call, and eventually she gets caught with the ball, so she thought she had the mark.
Yeah, but, I think Hartaluni just must have got a touch to it there, but Rapson did some great work, but yeah, unfortunately pushed back for the mark, and she didn't realise she had Hartaluni so close on her tail.
So Taylor Hartaluni, she's looking around for options to give this one off, I think. Thinks it's probably beyond her distance, and Tars are pretty well set up back towards the goal square. And the mark's just spilt down there, and a loose ball gives them Buffs an opportunity, but Roberts in there again. So Roberts working back and just stopping plenty of Buffs forward drives at the moment. There's a blocking free kick here, and it's Tars who bring it to the near side of the ground where Megan Hunt's got some space. She plays on straight away, kicks down the wing, unfortunately through the hands there of Keevett, and Buffs with a hand pass over the top. Iacono working for the ball on the ground, couldn't get the hand pass out, and now it's just clogged up, and umpire Josh Cooper will come in and ball it up.
Some contested football there by Iacono, who of course we usually see in the back line, is adding that tackling pressure to the midfield for them.
So it was Iacono who won that clearance, kicked the ball across to half forward. Anderson had a quick kick forward, but Tars pick it up. The ball's bouncing inside the centre square now. It's a foot race to get there first. Looking to tap it forward was Doherty Cole, but it's chopped off by Buffs again, and a long kick this time by Slewinski. Bounces inside forward 50. Taylor Hartaluni looked like she came up limping there, but good work by Tars out of defence. Hone got in the action, and free kick has been found here to Stephanie O'Brien on the outer wing, so a chance for Tars to go forward. She looks to switch the ball into the centre of the ground and finds her teammate there in Molly Cooper. Dom Carbone on the mark, being told to come back a couple of steps, but it's just a bit stop-start for Tars, and Buffs have got some numbers back, so they go straight up the middle of the ground. Oh, through the hands and over the back, a quick kick forward, out in front of O'Shea, and good use of the body, and she takes a strong mark coming out from full forward, and that was a quick kick forward by Jordan Smythe to the advantage there of Lauren O'Shea, and she rewarded the kick. So O'Shea with a kick towards goal. It's close to the goal post, but I think she's just snuck it in. She has. No, she hasn't, in fact. Goal umpire says one flag only, and
Lauren...
yeah, she can't believe it, I don't think.
No, Lauren O'Shea obviously offering a lot of experience and leadership into this Waratahs team. She's played in 7 grand finals and has won 6 of them, and in 2017 was on the Crows AFLW list, so it's great to see her offering back into the Tars team with some of the new girls who they've got coming through, and the up-and-coming young ones as well.
So Buffs from that kick in have brought the ball all the way forward of centre now, and Iacono in there again, kicks round the corner towards centre half forward, but it rebounds straight back, and now the opportunity for Hughes, but there's a whistle here, and it'll be a Tars free kick to Hartog.
It's working quite well for Tars at the moment. Just they've switched it a little bit there, but they're just using the centre corridor. They're just recognising that that's open, and they're taking the game on and trying to get it forward quickly.
Keeper in there again. She's tackled as soon as she picks up the ball. Hartaluni comes in and cops one across the shoulder, and Buffs will look to go forward. There's some space on the outer side. Kick goes that way. There's a nice pass, and marked out there by Shannon Hanning. Hanning now drives the ball inside forward 50, but strong mark in defence by Roberts again. She wanders off towards the outer side of the ground, but she's got nothing to go to out there, and might have been better served having a look before she decided to play on. But
or sticking with the middle corridor, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. But eventually Tars got a quick kick forward, but Gonanon read it best for Buffs and kicks the ball to Kisa Doherty-Cole out in front of the scoreboard on the outer side. She looks to bring the ball back corridor way, and that ball's chopped off, and I think that's Lauren Pluker in defence.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, she's done some good work back there for Tars today, and unfortunately this time her kick finds the opposition, and Buffs bring it back inside forward 50. Over the back there was Hone, got the hand pass but just missed the target, but now she gets another hand pass forward, and Tars bring it back into the corridor at half back. The bounce doesn't favour Buffs, and Hartog tries to tap it over there to Jordan Smythe, but just missed her. Iacono's in there again, gets thrown off the ball. Play on's the call, looking to centre the ball here and go backwards with it. Over the top of it there was Mickey Roberts. She got the hand pass out, and plenty of pressure on players as soon as they grab hold of the ball here, and This time a free kick's been found, and there'll be a 50-metre penalty as well for not returning it on the full. So a real opportunity for Tars now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've 9.5 minutes gone in this quarter, and there's only been the 1 point to Waratah. So Buffalo's still leading Waratahs 10-1.
So Stephanie O'Brien with the free kick and the 50, kicks long down there. O'Shea just couldn't quite get her hands to the ball, bounced off her boot and out towards the boundary line, but kept in play, and now Buff's looking to bring it out of defence. Oh, strong mark taken by Stephanie O'Brien, who's really come into the game in this second quarter, Eliza.
Yeah, she has, and as we mentioned, she's got that elite netballer background, so you can see how her hands are so good coming up. She missed a couple of marks early, but her positioning has been really good all game, so it's good to see her take one of them cleanly. And as we mentioned as well, she's a train-on with the Brisbane Lions in the AFLW this year.
So O'Brien kicks long, it's going into the goal square in front, the mark's taken, and an opportunity here for Tars to get their first goal on the board. It's Molly Cooper, is it? Yep.
It is, who usually we see in the back line, so it's good to see her having a run forward, and obviously offers a tall target again, but that was a monster of a kick by O'Brien as well. Really good.
And a strong mark in front of the pack and an excellent finish, so the Tars players are pretty happy about it, as they should be, and they've well, really they've worked their way right back into the game, only trailing by 3 points now, and maybe that wind was a bit more of a factor than we realised, Eliza.
Yeah, and look, it's just started from that pressure. It just feels like in that first quarter, Buffalo's had that next extra around the ball where they were able to get it backwards or side and then get a clear run through, and Tars, in the way of Heidi Thompson, looks like she's recognised that at the quarter break, told them to maybe lock on a little bit tighter in defence, and all of a sudden the contested balls are coming out Waratah's way. So we'll see now. It's 1-7 Waratahs trailing the Buffettes 4-10.
So from the restart, it's Patterson Dunn who did the ruck work and followed up herself and won the clearance, kicks the ball straight down the centre of the ground to centre half forward. Iacono in there, clever hands to Carbone. She hand passes out wide to Duggan, evades one tackle, but then her kick's smothered by Roberts. She kicks the ball off the ground towards the outer side of the ground, but first there for Buffs is Hanning. She ducks around and now gets her kick forward. But a falling mark taken there by Lisa Roberts at half-back for Tars. She's got a loose player further out towards the boundary, and they're just chipping it around now, trying to come forward. Hunt on the end of it, gets the hand pass back, and now a quick kick forward. Duggan's in there for Buffs, cleverly tapped it back to the advantage of her teammate, but she got tackled, and Duggan's in there again. Long hand pass forward to Henderson. Henderson kicks wide into space out in front of the scoreboard out there. Some clever body work. Sees Buffs keep the ball in play, but again, Tars with some numbers, but the hand pass isn't the best, and Carbone gets the kicker, so she's tackled. Lisa Roberts letting it dribble over the boundary line, and she picks it up and takes the free kick, kicks it straight down the wing there, where Cooper just spilt the mark, unfortunately, for Tars, but she's still fighting for the ball in there, gets a hand pass back. Roberts comes in now to lend some help. Her hand pass is smothered, and now Buffs with the opportunity to kick long inside forward 50. It's a really open forward 50 as well for Buffs, but Tars have got some numbers back. That's a dangerous kick off the ground into open space where Iacono pounces on it, hand passes back to Roberts. She wheels around on her favoured left foot, kicks long inside forward 50, Rapson over the back, affects the spoil, and fighting in there on the ground was Joanna Gregory, so Rapson's doing power work back there, Eliza.
And she's so reliable, also a pretty good runner, but is a lot stronger than what she looks for her size in those one-on-one contests.
So free kick's been found here. It's going Tars' way, and it's going to be Jordan Smythe in the rucking contest. She'll take the free kick. The breeze blowing through the headsets now.
And 14 minutes gone, just the one goal for this quarter. So we think probably got about 2 minutes left in the quarter. See if Tars can get it down their end one more time, or will Buffettes lock it in here?
Bronte Gaynor took that mark and then was called to play on, and so Buffs have turned it over. Palapamini kicks towards goal, but that's going across the face. Running onto it back there is Pluka for Tars. She's having trouble picking it up, and now she's under pressure from Wasomo, but kept the ball in front of her. Carbone comes in to help Wasomo, but Pluka's done pretty well in the end to hold it in and force a ball up, I think.
We know how dangerous the Buffett's forward line can be when they keep their structure and get their numbers around the footy, so we'll see if they can sneak it forward here.
So from the hit out, Rapson's kick smothered, taken off her boot by Carbone. She runs away now, runs straight in towards goal. The kick's on its way, it looks pretty good. Gee, terrific work by Dom Carbone there.
Oh, absolutely. She did the old fend off, which she knows she's so good at, but cleared the stoppage, got it forward, drove her legs and finished with a beautiful goal. It's too good, that one.
That's right, did it all by herself, basically. Tars looked like bringing it out of defence, but Carbone just smothered the ball and took possession from there.
And they needed that goal. It was first goal for them for the quarter, and we know Carbone's experience as well. So she's been down in Melbourne playing in the VFLW season for Hawthorn, which you can see that she's come back with a lot of experience and just that confidence that she knows she can take the play on, and to finish with a goal like that this time of the quarter's very, very handy for Buffett's. Yeah,
so the first score at the high school end of the ground, just in the dying moments before half-time. Althouse wins this clearance and drives Buffs forward again. Oh, the mark's spilt back there, and Tars are under some pressure again, but eventually work the ball out towards the grandstand side of the ground. But Hartaluni chops this one off and drives it back in again for Tars, and Wasomo takes the mark down there. About shin height, she read it well as it came over the back of the pack of players in front of her, and now she's settling for a shot on goal. And gee, after all the work Tars did in the early part of the quarter, it looks like Buffs have got the opportunity to outscore them for the quarter.
And they did really well there, missed the mark, but was able to crumb it, get the ball, get a kick out. And unfortunately, with the experience of Hartaluni, we know how well she does just to use her pace, and has such a handy left foot kick.
There's a free kick in the goal square here.
Oh.
In fact, it must have been a 50-metre penalty for perhaps moving on the mark.
I was wondering why the Buffett's players were clapping there, Stu.
Yeah, so Frida Wasomo will kick from the goal line to extend Buff's lead at half-time. And
as you said, Waratah, it's unfortunate ending for the quarter for them there. They got the first goal of the quarter, worked so hard to lock it in. They were using their space really well, and then Buffett's have just come back with 2 quick goals here and got a really good control on the game again. So that's half-time now, and we see Darwin Buffaloes leading Waratahs 2 goals 4-16 to 1 goal 1-7. We saw some really great work in that quarter from the Waratahs coming through. We're just gone dead. Still dead. Yeah, we do. Nah, still not.
Still?
Nah, if you listen to that, like,
Hello?
Yep, we're back now.
hi. Welcome back to AFLNT's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO AFLNT season, where we see Darwin Buffets take on Waratah's round 4. Sorry about the abrupt cut-off after that second quarter. We just had a bit of technical issues, but we're assured that it's all fixed up now for the second half, as we see Buffett 22 leading Waratah's 7, and we can see just one change I can note here is they've pushed up Nikki Anderson to the wing and Michelle Sawinski to the forward line, who's usually playing in the back line. So obviously they might just need a little bit more forward power. We'll see if Michelle can do the job, Stu.
Yeah, and Tia Patterson-Dunn started in the ruck. Molly Oldhouse did heaps of work in that first quarter, but went missing a bit in the second. I'm not sure where she is to start this quarter even. But anyway, it's Tars have got a free kick on the outer side. It's Aggie Singh in front of the scoreboard on the outer side there. She chips the ball down along the boundary line. Oh, mark almost taken, but good recovery, and that's O'Brien again, but just couldn't get the ball to advantage of her teammate. And now Buff's working the ball along the ground across half back. Kylie Duggan says we've had enough of that and picks it up, chips a kick forward, but again, an opportunity for Tars through the hands. Hunt got it out in front of her teammate there in Bronte Gaynor, and she got swamped with the ball, and she's going to take the free kick. Anderson thought it was hers, but not to be. Gaynor hand passes off to Hunt. Hunt goes straight down the middle of the ground looking for O'Shea. Good work in the marking contest by Ange Gonan on to spoil, and Buffs clear it out of defence. Running onto it here is Teresa Parnas. She just toes it forward now, but plenty of Buffs players in there, and the ball spills forward. Going back in there for Tars was Madison Hone, but no one can get the ball clearly out of the congestion there, so eventually umpire Cooper says we'll ball it up. So the ball's worked forward of centre for Buffs, who have the advantage of the breeze in this third quarter. And they'll be pretty buoyed, I think, by the 2 late goals they got in the second quarter to stretch that lead. But quick kick forward by Tars this time, but Iacono does well in there and picks up, finds a space in the traffic and kicks forward to half forward. And now a quick kick forward, but over the head of Hartaluni back there, wraps and goes to ground, and now an opportunity for Hartaluni. She swings around on the left foot, hooks towards goal. The kick looks pretty good. It bounces and into the goalpost for a behind only. So Tars looking to move the ball quickly, and that's marked out here by Baltus. She kicks high, looking for Singh there, but Anderson's in there. Spoilt the mark. There's Molly now got the hand pass across, and Hartaluni runs through, avoids a tackle, kicks long towards goal, but she's dragged that one and out of bounds on the full in the right forward pocket.
The selfless thing that Sawinski did there, but with Taylor Hart being the left foot, she probably just should have just put it on her own right foot and just got it forward there.
Izzy Rapson looking, but not much to offer. She goes straight down the ground. It's all Buffs here, and Kylie Duggan just picks that one off easy as you like at half forward. Being told to straighten up.
Tars have done well here just to pair off, stop those short kicks that Buffs were getting in the first quarter.
Again, a good contest there. Sees the ball come to ground. Good tackle, Joanna Gregory in there. She got tackled with the ball, and now an opportunity for Duggan again. She tries to break through, kicks towards goal now. It's going over the head of Rapson down there, but just offline and a behind only.
Duggan's done a huge amount of work both ends this quarter, working really hard down the middle of the ground.
So Rapson runs out of the goal square, has a couple of bounces, and now kicks outside 50. Mark almost taken, and it's paid in fact to Molly Cooper out there. So Cooper thought about hand passing off, changed her mind, and now she'll kick long to the outer side of the ground. In front there was O'Brien, had the ball spoilt from behind, but came in and recovered and got caught with the ball and penalised for holding the ball. So Remfrey will take the free kick for Buffs. She chips it in towards half forward. Coming in there was Hartaluni, but no mark was taken. Duggan again gets a kick across towards centre half forward. And Carbone picks it up. She's tackled with the ball, but manages to get a kick forward. Anderson hooks one around the corner out into some space. But that's good defensive work by Pluka down there for Tars, but chopped off by Anderson again. She gets the kick forward. She's bundled to ground after she kicked the ball. No malice in that, as
yeah, I think
Joanna Boltus apologised.
I think she was just a bit stronger than she thought there. Stu used a lot of momentum, and Buffets have got the advantage downfield because it was after the kick.
Yep, so Palapamini will take the free kick. Right in front of the Buffs fans down there. The kick's on the way. It's a bit of a floater going right to the goal line. It's going to float all the way through, I think. Oh. It is. Never looked like it in the air, but just kept going and through for a goal. So her first goal for the game. And so after Tars really had all the running in the second quarter, Buffs have kicked the next 3 goals since then.
And they've been a lot more efficient. I know it's only early in the quarter, but in that first quarter, of course, they had a lot of forward entries and couldn't really execute. So they've started off really strong here with a couple of entries, but also goals reward, as we see Molly Althouse back on the field in the ruck. It's 6 minutes in with the Buffets 30 leading Tars 1 goal, 1-7.
And it's Jordan Smythe doing the ruck work for Tars. So Althouse wins that one pretty comprehensively, but Roberts read it best. Her kick was smothered. Althouse breaks away, clears down towards half forward. Ball bouncing in front of Hartaluni there. She gets a hand pass out, but Tars through the numbers, work it through the hands, and Roberts gets a kick bouncing down towards the centre of the ground, but good defensive work by Buffs. Kick the ball out into space here between wing and half forward. Picked up down there by Slewinski. She manages to get a kick under pressure. Hone back there for Tars picks up hand passes, but just slipped out of Pluka's hands, unfortunately. And now Hartaluni swings the left foot around the corner, but that's bouncing down towards the forward pocket and out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Well done there by Slewinski. Even though she fell over, she was able to just get on the left foot and just get it centre and give Buffets another chance to go forward.
I'll just say a quick word about the boundary umpire here, Eliza. You may not know this, but that's Adrian Wellington, and he was boundary umpiring in Darwin about 75 years ago, I reckon. But just back, obviously, from wherever he's been, and yeah, having a go still.
Good to see that experience out on Gardens Oval for your Sunday afternoon.
Dom Carbone around the corner, but Izzy Rapson on the last line takes the mark, and she plays on straight away to the outer side, has a bounce.
Probably about her 25th mark for the day, I'd say, Stu.
Yeah, she's been terrific back in defence there. But ball on the ground, and players looking to get it out into some space. Tap forward now. Smythe in there dives but couldn't control the ball. Althouse picks it up eventually, looks backwards to go forwards, and the kick drifts towards the outer side of the ground at the junction of the 50-metre mark, but off hands it goes out of bounds and will be a boundary throw in.
And we see there Madison Hone, who's doing a lot of work in the back line, who's a Catherine player, so mainly plays in the back line, and she's playing for the Crocs in Catherine this year, and it's good to see her in Darwin playing some games as well, as she usually does for Waratahs. So
Tars win the ball from that stoppage and bring the ball to the grandstand side of the ground. Some good use of the body there, but Althouse recovers, Stokes in fact recovers well, gets the hand pass forward. Aggie Singh is menacing as usual in there, makes the tackle, but the ball spills free. Carbone running onto it, but didn't take possession and got tackled, so she'll take the free kick.
Battle of who could keep their feet there, Stu, and it's no surprise that Dominic Carbone's come out with the goods.
So she goes across the ground, and that's a terrific kick and excellent use of the body once again, Molly Althouse. So the kick was to her advantage over the back, and she just held out her opponent and snatched the ball out of the air, so she'll kick from just inside forward 50 this time, and the kick's on the way. Looks like it's fading a bit and falling short. There's a free kick been found, and it's going to be a Waratah free kick to Izzy Rapson by the looks. So not too much movement for her, but she's got Smythe out on the outer side. She goes in her direction, got her hands to the ball, it just slipped out the back. Kick's half smothered there, and now the opportunity for Buffs to come forward again. Carbone's found some space at half forward, but the ball bounces past her, and she's in there again now. Ducks back one way and then the other, runs round a couple of players, runs towards goal, but the kick wasn't the best. Quick kick off the ground. Slewinski takes it, swings around on the left, but misses to that left-hand side and a behind only. So
we saw, just as you mentioned, with Rapson having that kick out, it just looks like because the midfielders are having to push forward and cover those Buffs midfielders, they're just not able to work back that way to get the kick and get the lead to clear it out.
So Rapson again with the kick in. This time it's Bethany Wheeler. She was the target. She got her hands to it, but recovered with a hand pass. Now Anderson has a kick towards goal. Oh, just through the hands there of Gregory and through for a behind again. So Buffs have got it camped down in their forward line in the middle stages of this third quarter at Gardens Oval. But only the one goal for the quarter for their efforts so far.
Yeah, with the 11.5 minutes gone.
So a bit of a change here, and Lisa Roberts bringing the ball into play. She plays on with a tap on the ground, but she's kicked it straight down the throat of Oldhouse again. Oldhouse has a player free at half forward. That's Kylie Duggan. She takes a nice mark overhead, looking to move the ball on quickly, and I think that's Anderson down there on the end of it. Hand passes back to Remfrey. Remfrey kicks forward, but that one's chopped off by Rapson again. So Rapson on the last line. Hasn't got much to go to on the grandstand side where she's heading, and Buffs are just lining up out here. Stokes runs onto it, can't control it. Slewinski in there, gets it forward now. Stokes has got some space. She's set upon by Aggie Singh, and then Singh's tackled without the ball, and so some good work by Singh back there. She saved what looked like being a certain goal and then won the free kick herself. She goes to the outer side again, and her teammate out there, Indiana Hughes, couldn't take the mark in the contest against Oldhouse, but it came to ground. Eventually it's in the hands of Oldhouse again. She kicks in towards centre half forward. Anderson in there in battle with Hunt. Hunt got the hand pass out, and now Tars bring it away on the outer side, and the mark's taken by Hughes. So just looking to settle things down now. The chip pass, Brianna Martin in front takes the mark.
Yeah, she did well just to push back, take her time there. She recognised there was no lead, so she waited for that hit-up lead to come up, which Bree did really well.
So Martin's followed up her own kick and got the next possession as well, but again, the Buffs with numbers out there. Iacona got the hand pass back and a quick kick forward. It's Hughes running onto this one. Hand passes forward to Martin, but it's Buffs out of defence through Nicole Schmidt, but only as far as Roberts, and she drives the ball long. Unfortunately, the mark's spilt there by Cooper, and Buffs the opportunity to bring it out. Just a bit scrappy on the other side at the moment, and perhaps need to just change the direction. They've gone straight down the middle of the ground this time, and that's a better option, and Lauren O'Shea's taken the mark at centre half forward. She's looking for players forward. She's looking eventually for Stephanie O'Brien, and that's where it headed, and O'Brien took the mark in front of her smaller opponent. O'Brien's looking to chip the ball on here. Oh, almost a mark taken. Free kicks paid. Play on's the call, and running into the open goal was Megan Hunt for Tars. So we called for something different after it was clogged up on the outer side of the ground. They went down the corridor and looked for players in some space, and got rewarded with a goal in the end.
Yeah, and it started, which I actually think it was Megan Hunt who hit that kick from the mid to Lauren O'Shea at the top of the 50, which was a beautiful kick. Lauren led really well, just got it forward, had trust in the other forwards to come through, and then Hunt was able to follow up, who's obviously been playing in the midfield, but you love that when your midfielders come forward and are able to kick a goal, and they really needed that one, and they're trailing still, but they got their second on the board, two goals, 1-13 to 4-8-32.
Yeah, terrific running by Hunt, just never gave up on the contest, gave her teammates an option and got rewarded in the end. So from the stoppage, it's Buffs through Mickey Roberts, runs straight down the middle of the ground, has a bounce, kicks long, Rapson again doing the defensive work, this time with a spoil, and the ball bobbles out. Rapson in there again, but it's a quick kick forward by Pluka and hacked off the ground there by Roberts. The ball's in some space now. Running onto it is Wasomo for Buffs. She, with a clean set of heels, finds some space and kicks out wide. And now the chip pass in. Hartaluni shrugs one tackle, gets caught in another, gets a hand pass out eventually. But now back in the hands of Hartaluni. Swings around on the left foot, kicks towards goal. It looks pretty good. No, it's not. Just missed to the left-hand side for another behind. So plenty of points. I think Buffs have kicked 1 goal 5 this quarter, and Tars just the 1 goal.
Definitely proving to be the scoring end this week.
So Rapson runs her full measure and then kicks to the outer side of the ground. Again, hands to the ball, but the mark couldn't be taken by Cooper. And Buffs with an opportunity. Mickey Roberts caught with the ball, but the ball squirts out. And running across out of defence is Parnas for Tars, but it's all Buffs out there as they look to bring it back inside forward 50. The ball's bouncing and eventually picked up, and a quick kick out of defence. But now Tars the opportunity as the siren goes. So just a goal apiece in that quarter, but Buffs had the majority of the field position and scoring shots, but just weren't able to capitalise on them, and probably have left the door open a bit for Tars going into the last quarter. Eliza.
Yeah, it has. It's set it up for a really good last quarter. If we see Tars get that first goal early and can just keep it, just looked like they were contesting a lot better in the inner ball there. So obviously in that first and second quarter, Buffets were able to hit those short targets. They had a lot of free players, and Tars have really responded here in the works of Coach Heidi Thompson. I'm sure she's had a stern word with them to pair off. And we'll see what happens in that last quarter. You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2021-22 NTFL season. We'll see you back for the last quarter. Welcome back here for AFLNT's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season, where we've got round 4 of the Women's Premier League. Darwin Buffets 4 goals 9-33 to Waratah but also has great speed and excellent pick up off the ground and is able to use the ball really nice on her left too.
Doherty Cole took that mark. She kicks long towards goal. It's drifting towards the outer side. But Mickey Roberts hand passes back inside to Wasomo. Her kick was half smothered, and now the opportunity for Tars to come out of defence. Oh, what a terrific mark over the top there.
Overhead marks.
Taylor Hartaluni over the top of Aggie Singh then, and yeah, great mark. Steadies things up this time. Kicks inside 50. Roberts just gets her hands to the ball, and Tars trying to bring it out of defence, but Hartaluni's there again. This time Aggie Singh uses some strength to nudge her out of the way and pick up the ball and kick down towards a really open forward line. And it's Cunningham down there is the sole Waratah player doing battle against 3 or 4 Buffs players, and eventually gave away the free kick. So Schmidt chips the ball out to the grandstand side and finds Henderson. And Henderson now advancing the ball along the wing, punched away defensively by Hunt. And now a quick kick by Cooper, unfortunately drifts over the boundary line and out on the full, so Iakono will take the free kick for Buffs. She runs inboard and kicks the ball in towards the centre of the ground. That's a good pass. She had a number of players in there, and eventually she found Remfrey. Remfrey kicks long towards centre half forward. Mickey Roberts running across the front there. Welcome to Gardens Oval for round 4 men's Premier League action. Sorry about the delayed start. We just had some technical issues with the live stream. I'm Stu Davis. I'm joined by Will Zwar today. Welcome, Will. This should be a cracker, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. 3rd versus 5th here at Gardens Oval. 2 minutes into the game, and it's been a pretty slow start so far. No one seems to take possession or control of the game, but we'll see what happens. Tars now with the ball in their back line. Can't edge it forward, and the umpire has pulled a free kick there, going the way of Tars, but he will bring it back. It'll be Jaden Magro taking the kick for Tars.
Yeah, so no score on the board so far, and sides just sorting each other out. But yeah, really looking forward to this contest, and first time I've seen Tars live for the year, and they work the ball across half back. It's Corey Rich who finds his teammate down here in Danny O'Dwyer. He kicks the ball inside forward 50. A bit of a crude tackle down there, and the free kick's been paid, and the opportunity for the first score of the game will go Tars' way, and I think that's Thomas Cree down there. Just got ploughed into the back of. It is in fact, so Cree in front of the Buffalo's coaching bench down there will take the set shot. He'll be kicking from about 30 metres out. Just stepping over from the boundary line now. So no score on the board as Cree kicks. Kicks going towards goal, but he's just kept that one to the right-hand side, so behind only for Tars, kicking to the city end of the ground in this first quarter. Bradley Stokes brings it in, finds his brother Jared, and captain of the side at half-back. Jared hand passes back off to Bradley. That kick just falls a bit short down there, and Jaden Kickett gets the kick out of defence, but there's plenty of Tars players there. The ball goes high in towards the goal square. Magro on the ground, swoops on that one, hooks it over his shoulder, but doesn't bring it back far enough. And to behind only. I mentioned Jaden Kickett just before, Will. He's of course moved across from Nightcliff, his first game in Buffs colours as I understand it, so wish him all the best in his new career at Darwin Buffaloes.
Absolutely interesting to see how he goes today. Obviously he's quite a decorated player up here in the territory in the NTFL, so we'll see how he goes today. Tars now launching it into the forward 50, courtesy of McGrath. He can't find a target. And Buffs will have a chance to reset now. Running out of the back line, kicks it towards the wing, hit late, and the umpire calls a free kick. It'll be taken downfield from Anzac Lakoviak. It's called to play on. Throws it on the boot, not the best kick, can't find a target. And Sam Bono trying to pick it up. Now comes out to Luke Roberts. He's tackled, wrapped up. Umpire calls play on, and now calls for a ball up. Brody Carroll hands it out there to his co-captain in Turnbull, who then gets it out to Magro. Can't work it any further forward than that. An umpire has called holding the man in favour of Collis. Lucky not to get a free kick, another 50-metre penalty against the Buffs. This is William Collis here. Obviously the two boys both have the bright bleached blonde hair.
Almost silver, I'd say, Will.
Yeah.
Something different.
Not sure if it's come out the way they planned it to, but that's what we've got. And it's a good mark in the forward line.
I think it's Sambono down there, which is, it's not Adam Sambono, who we've been expecting to come back for Buffs for some time. It's Cassian Sambono. So good work behind the ball there from Mihail Lakoviak, and he got that ball in. And Sambono has taken the mark. About 25 out directly in front, so first opportunity for Buffs to score, and you have to like his chances from here, you would think. Kick just drifts a little, in fact it drifts too much, and yeah, I noticed in the women's game before the breeze did affect down that end as they were kicking for goal, so I don't know if that's still there, but that one certainly drifted off to the right.
Tars turn to restart the play out from fullback. And you play on. And kick it long. Gee. Good fly from Graham, but he couldn't take the mark. Now over to Crocker. It's not a great kick, and it's out on the full on the wing. And it looks like Alistair Darcy will take the kick in for the Buffs as they look for another foray forward. Looks for his options. Goes towards the big man. Oh, another big fly, but wasn't in the right position. Hacked forward there by Collinson. Sambono now rounding onto it. Can't take possession, and the boundary line is the winner.
So a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Buffs as the clock just ticks over 8 minutes in this first quarter. So no goals on the board, and no particularly smooth passages of play so far. It's a real contest. There's a free kick in the rucking contest, and it's going to go Buffalo's way down there. So it's Aaron Stokes who'll take this free kick, doing the ruck work in the forward line for Buffs. So another shot on goal from a set shot from Buffs, and they'll be looking to hit the lead for the first time in the game. Stokes' kick on the way. Goal umpire makes a little bit of ground, but that's done enough to stay inside the left-hand goalpost. So first goal on the board for the game, and it goes the way of Aaron Stokes for Darwin Buffaloes.
Puts their lead out to 5 points. 1 goal, 1, 7 plays, no goals and 2 behinds to Waratah. And even with that goal, it doesn't really look like either side has managed to take control. Pretty even at this stage around the ground.
So Stokes has gone into the centre of the ground to continue doing the ruck work. He'll be up against Jordan Wilkins, another young player for Tars. And just waiting on umpire Daniel Lancaster to get us going again. And Wilkins wins that hit out. There's a free kick found. It's going to Collis for Tars in the middle of the ground. Dylan Collis this time. He goes by hand out to Brody Carroll. Carroll keeps the ball around, not by the boundary on that outer side of the ground. Wilkins gets a hand pass over the top as he's tackled. Free kick's been paid here. It's going to be a Waratah free kick, and it's going to Wilkins. his hands, and now Buff's the opportunity through Jared Stokes. He kicks into the corridor, but that was chopped off by Goulden for Tars. But again, Buffs through Lukoviak here, goes through the hands. Hand passes over there to Dylan Gordon. His kick was smothered. Tars have the numbers around the ball now, but fumble doesn't help their cause. And the ball on the ground now, just trying to work it out. They do through the hands eventually, and bring the ball back in towards half-back, but Lockie McKenzie tidying up across there. Hand passes off to Darcy. He's put under some pressure, and the ball just squirts off the side of his boot and out of bounds on the full, in fact. So Tars to bring it in, Will.
And the kick goes into the forward line. The contest comes out the back. McKenzie, with the interesting hairstyle today, mops it up, looking for options. Hand passes it over the top there to Moroney. Another handball over to Lukoviak. 3 of them running out there today as they work it forward through Gordon. He finds his captain in Stokes. It's just coming into the game now. Ball now comes to Sharples. Couldn't take it cleanly, and he's wrapped up by Cree. Umpire calls free kick, holding the ball. Doing the defensive work early as well, Cree, not just in front of goals, but down the ground. Set for a big day, I think. He finds Collis. Good short, sharp pass. Looking to work it forward, Tarzar. Plays on. Couldn't quite find McGrath as it spills over the back, but he'll run with the second effort. Carroll now hands it out. Kick forward by Collis, and didn't really have any purpose as it's out on the full. McKenzie here will resume play. Kicks across the face of goal to Moroney. Grant offers something, but he doesn't take it. Instead goes to Paul Campbell. Looks down the ground. Gee, not a great kick. Cree there again, intercepting it, but Stokes will mop up. Maintains possession. Turns around and kicks across goal. Finds his man running out of half-back. I think it was Darcy. Hands it over to Lukoviak. Dylan Gordon trying to make something of it, but he's outnumbered on that far flank. Ooh. Heavy into it was Jacob Lukoviak. He's been busy early. It'll be Nick Gooch with the free kick for that late hit. Kicks across to Collis of the William variety. Plays on, takes a bounce. Kicks it on his left and finds his man on the half-forward flank in Joel Stevens. A bit too far out to score. He'll look for what he can find inside 50. The umpire has called a free kick for holding the man. It'll go the way of Keranoa.
Yeah, just off the ball there, down about 20 metres out from goal. In fact, it's not going to be Keranoa, it's going to be Cree again. So already has both of Tar's goals, I think, and obviously the Buffs defenders worried about him and just putting a bit too much work into him off the ball on that occasion, and the free kick was found. So he'd like his chances from here, 20 metres out directly in front. And he'll be looking for his third and Tars. He's dragged that one, unfortunately, for Tars supporters in the grandstand here, and so that's 2 goals and 2 misses for Cree so far. So it's got almost all of their score.
Extends the lead to 2 points. 2 goals, 3-15 plays, 2 goals, 1-13. So we edge towards the 19-minute mark of this first quarter. The kick comes into Charles Sharples in the back line. Looks for a quick kick out to Jaden Kickett. As we mentioned before, his first game in Buffs colours this year after swapping from Nightcliff. Kicks down the line. Oh, good attempt from Bowles, but he couldn't quite hold on to it. And the boundary line will win.
So right in front of the grandstand here, the 2 grandstands, of course, at Gardens Oval. But This one, the one that's mainly full of Waratah supporters, as the boundary throwing comes in. Graham wins the hit out.
The other Hunter Harrison grandstand, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's right. And kicked forward by Magro, straight down the corridor, but punch from behind and tidying up. Buffs bring it out of defence through Mackenzie to the outer side, and Jackson Clark takes a mark. Hand passes off to Xavier Grant, who avoids a bit of trouble there and eventually finds some space, kicks down the line, and he finds Mihail Lakoviak on the outer wing. Lakoviak plays on out in front of the scoreboard, and that's a good kick out in front of his brother Anzac Lakoviak. And they're still outside forward 50. Looking for options forward. Tars have worked back. They've got some numbers in space in defence. And Lakoviak comes in, and Tars will just pluck this one off easily enough in defence, and Collis switches across here to Robbie Turnbull. Turnbull runs away and chips the ball out and finds Cree again at half back. He marks in front of Grant. Now just slows things up. Sees plenty of blue jumpers in front of him, goes down the line here, and Mackenzie over the top. Thumps that one over the boundary line easy enough, and away from Kitschke in the marking contest. Kenzie's just pulled up a bit sore there, I think. I don't know if it's a bit of a calf or something, but just hobbling a little bit as he works his way back into defence for Buffs.
Did notice that just on the landing there, he sort of came up a bit ginger. Umpire resumes play, and Tars will win it. Bruce Stevens as he kicks it forward. Cree at the bottom of that pack, keeping busy again. And the player behind the ball, gee, he's pinged. I thought he was almost unlucky not to get a free in the back, but the umpire's called it as holding the ball. And it'll be Kevin Moroney taking the kick. So we're entering red time here at Gardens Oval in the first quarter. Stokes now at half back, kicks across the ground to kick it out of the back line into space onto the run of Clark, but the boundary line, again the winner in that contest.
Yeah, it's still a real arm wrestle, Will, and Tars just holding that couple of point lead, but nothing real smooth about the game so far. So from the boundary contest, Stevens does the work on the ground, and Carroll comes away with the ball, kicks inside 50 out in front of his teammate down there in Arnold, but through the hands as he was pressured in the marking contest, couldn't hold onto it, unfortunately for Tars, and the ball spills over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Kitschke on Stokes in the ruck. Kitschke taps it over the back. Carroll wrapped up, but Tars can't make something of it as the quarter-time siren sounds. And heading to the first break, Waratah leading 2 goals 3-15 against Darwin, 2 goals 1-13. As we said, a real arm wrestle. We'll resume play after this break.